This is test number 4. The previous test was on another gimbal. It wasn't too bad, but the gimbal was just not heavy enough. This gimbal is a lot heavier, and I hope it's making things seem a little more steady. The thing about the other gimbal, I'm using a new phone. The other phone that I've got, it has a pause button on it. I like that. Of course, live streaming, you don't want to pause. But if I'm making just a video, you know how much that eliminates in the editing process? With that pause button, if I do it enough to get used to it, it cuts out 80%, 90%, even 95% of the editing that you have to do on these videos. It's unreal. It does a good job. But I've got a gimbal here made by Hohem, H-O-H-E-M, however you pronounce that, Hohem, whatever. Anyway, I've got DJI gimbals, but the batteries don't last in them very long. They only last for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, and it goes dead. This one here is not an expensive one. It cost me 80 bucks. I think you can get them now for around 50. But anyway, it's got the removable control, so you can set it down and you can walk off and control it with the remote control device. I like that. And it'll go for 11 hours. I've had it on all day so far, making just regular videos, and it works fantastic. And I went through 4 gimbals, and they were all good except for the real cheap one. Stay away from the cheap ones, they're not any good. But anything over $50 is fine. The last one I bought before this one, I think it was like $49 on sale. Anyway, it's a nice gimbal, but it's too light. And I shake a little bit. I'm not a rock solid, steady person like most people are. You know, I'm knocking on 80 years old door, and about 8-9 years ago, I started shaking. My hands started shaking. Went to the doctor. We don't know. You've got essential tremors. That's what they call it, essential tremors. Nothing they can do for it. Everything they tried to do is just only medicine. And that stuff, I can't take that medicine crap they were trying to give me. So I just cut it all out. And if I carry something heavy, I shake more. Now when I first get up in the mornings, and if I don't sleep well that night, I shake just like a vibrator. But if I have a good night's sleep, no problem. I can get up and I'm just as solid as a rock for a while till I start moving around, and then I start back with the shakes again. But this gimbal that I'm using here, like I said, it's a H-O-H-E-M, Hohem, or however you pronounce it. It actually does better than the DJI. It's a lot more steadier, I think. And I'm a good test to that, the way I shake, because you ought to see a video that I make if I don't use anything. I mean, it's shaking so bad you can't even see it. So But this is doing a good job. Oh, Debbie's got her chickens up. I wonder if the guineas are up. They might be. They look pretty good. They got this awning here for their RV. It's been sitting there for 3 months. And Doris and I, we're taking bets on how long it's going to take before they move it under the awning, if it ever gets under the awning. So, we'll see. Anyway, I'm taking a walk. I don't do much anymore when it's cold, and I gain weight. Of course, I gain weight every winter. So I'm hoping when it starts warming up, it won't take me too terribly long to shed some of the pounds. But I can tell you right now, I don't feel as good now as I did before I started gaining all this weight. I watch what I drink. I watch my food intake, which has not been the best in the world. But it doesn't make any difference how much food I eat or how much I drink. Dr. Pepper. Not Dr. Pepper. Yeah, well, I drink Dr. Pepper. I drink cherry wine once in a while. But I absolutely love Canada Dry. And the reason I like Canada Dry, because that's the only thing, when my stomach gets a little upset, that's the only thing that'll calm it down. I've tried everything. Nothing works except Canada Dry. And now I drink water, and I put a third of a teaspoon, teaspoon, a little old teeny, about as big as your first finger, end of your first finger. I get this Crystal Light just to flavor the water a little bit. And because water's fine, but after a while I get tired of water. So I use that Crystal Light to give it just a hint of a flavor, and that works great. But I haven't lost any weight. And I was drinking 1.5 Canada Dries a day. And since I quit about a month and a half ago. Can't see any difference in my weight, except I'm gaining more. So it's got to be my food intake. And Doris, she feeds me good. I don't mean like, yeah, she gives me a lot of food if I'll eat it. But I keep telling her, cut back, you're giving me too much, you're giving me too much. But she keeps piling it on. But other than that, I don't eat but 3 things. I eat chicken, I eat hamburger, I eat broccoli, I eat spinach, and she gets this vegetable mix that doesn't have anything added to it. It's just peas, carrots, things like that. And she boils a lot of onions. And I eat onions, the sweet onions, Vidalia onions, and I eat a lot of I got a touch of dementia too, so when I'm talking, I can think about it, and when I get ready to say it, it's gone. It just goes right out of my head, just like it is. The things that grow in the ground, in the dirt, what you call those? Oh, come on. I eat them just about every day. Now I can't even remember what they are. But anyway, that's about all I eat. I don't eat any fast food. So but she's giving me so much. I eat a little bit of rice and a little bit of potatoes, but I don't eat enough I don't think, to make me gain weight. I reckon it's just because I slowed down. I can't walk. Like today I'm walking, but this is the first time in 2 weeks that we've been able to get out and do any kind of outside walking or anything. It's just, I can't take the cold anymore. My skin has just gotten so thin that I get cold. No two ways about it. But other than that, let me see if I can try something on this thing. I'm going to try to turn it around. And please put your blinders on and put your sunglasses on, because I don't want to scare you to death when you see me. I've been accused of scaring people to death. So here we go. Let's see what I need to do to turn this around. Oh, there it is. Hold on. There we go. Ooh, my hair's a mess. Yeah, my hair's a pure mess. Let me see if I can get it to stay on it. Well, it's supposed to track me. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't holding it far enough. But anyway, I'm not doing something right. I'll have to play with it a little bit and figure out what starts to track him. But I'm supposed to be able to just to touch the screen. There we go. And it's supposed to be able to track me, but it's not tracking me. But anyway, oh God, look at my hair. Let me tell you something. People that have thick, no, I can't say thick, because I had thick hair when I was growing up. I mean, it was really thick. But my curse that I've had to bear all these years is, well, I've had two curses. I've had cowlicks. That's a big curse right there. I have thin hair. I have really thin hair. And that did not bother me a bit till I got to be about 70 years old. And as soon as I hit the big 70, I started losing it. And now I gotta admit, I think to be as old as I am, that I still got a lot of hair. I don't have a bald spot. I've got two, what you call those, on each side of your forehead that go back, but they're not real deep. That's where my cowlicks were, where those two indentions, I'll call them, in my hairline. I had one on each side. A barber counted them one time and told me I had 9 cowlicks on the top of my head. Now, you don't think that was a booger to put up with. I'll give them to you, and you can live with them through your high school years and see how much you like it. It was absolutely horrendous. I comb it, and 2 minutes later, it's all over the damn place. And if I tried to use hair gel or anything like that on it, it looked like I was plastered down with mayonnaise. I just couldn't put anything on my hair. And it was absolutely terrible, and it still is today. The only thing I can do is blow dry my hair to make it a little fluffy. But that only lasts about an hour or two. And if it's humid outside, it goes away the minute I walk out the door. People don't realize how much hair controls what you think about yourself. And I tell you, walking around, some of these people that I see today, I wouldn't even go out the door looking the way they look. I know I sound like a bigot or whatever you want to call me, but my parents told me from a little old jackrabbit to a full-blown kangaroo that if you're going to go out in public, you dress. You don't have to dress up Sunday, but dress to look nice. And that's the way I grew up. That's basically the way I am now. I don't like to wear shorts because now that I was so skinny, they called me string bean for 30 years. But now I've gained enough weight that my legs don't look fat. They don't look like they're string beans anymore. But I'm so used to wearing pants, and I don't have that look that I don't dress like that. Now if I'm at home like I am now, messing around, oh yeah, I'll put on old clothes, I'll put on an old shirt, I'll put on, in the summer I'll wear short pants. But if I go uptown to go somewhere where I'm going to be out, I put on long pants, I put on a nice dress shirt, and everybody says, oh, you're so overdressed. I get that constantly. Why are you so overdressed? Well, it's the way I was brought up. I was brought up that way. And some of these people, they've got now, people that might not know, you can go on YouTube and you can go into the search and go in and search streaming at Walt Disney World. And you will be absolutely amazed at what you will see on the screen. I tell you what, some of those people, I'm not saying a thing about their character, because you don't judge a person by their character, but or the way they look. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm just getting at first impressions, and they just can't take it. I'm just that type of person. No, I've got a lot of friends that look like they just come out of the trash dump. But there's a difference between being mean or hating somebody and wanting to look nice and proper. That's two different things. And this woke world that we're in now, that's another thing that gets me going. I'll go out on a rant on that. I'm old enough now, I don't give a damn what anybody thinks. But they ought to take this woke crap and wash it down the damn toilet. If you're not good enough to do the job, you don't need to be doing the job. That's the way I was brought up. Not by my parents, but by everybody that I ever tried to work for. And that's the biggest reason why I never held a 9-to-5 job working for somebody. I always worked for myself. And that way, I was only accountable to one person, and that was me. Then when I got married, I was accountable to two people. That was me and my wife. And it took her a good 50 years to teach me that she was the second person in command. But yep, I got it now. I listen to her, I do everything she tells me to do, basically, within reason. And you know, we've been married 53 years to date, and we've only had one argument. And that argument was not worth having, but we had it anyhow. But other than that, we get along fine. I don't know what I would do. Of course, hopefully I will find out, because I'd rather for her to go before me That way she doesn't have to go through the agony of losing or cheering me or whatever, whichever way she goes. She won't have to go through that. And I'll take responsibility for all that. Well, I'm back at the house, so I reckon that'll do it. I've been talking for 20 minutes. That's the most I ever talked in 3 months. Bye-bye.